Yeah, anyone try to confirm once?
Yeah, it's visible.
Fine. So today I'll be just starting with the basics of Python, right? So before I go with the installation process, I need to know something about this Python software foundation, right? Yes, thank you. Thanks for the confirmation. Yes, Python software foundation, right? Yes, PSF. What we say, like PSF, Python software foundation, right? So it is a non-profit organization. It is a non-profit organization devoted towards Python community, devoted towards Python community. It was launched in the year 2001. The main objective, right? The main objective of this PSF, right? To foster the development of Python, to foster the development of Python from version to version, right? In the year 2005, in the year 2005, Python Software Foundation, right? It received Python PSF received, yes, Computer World Horizon Award, right? Yes, Computer World Horizon Award. And the president for this, the president for this PSF is like Guido van Rossum. Guido van Rossum. Official website. Okay, president. Mm. Official python.org is the official website from where we can download Python from that. And also we can see the documentation of Python for each and every Python release, right? Python.org is the, yes. Python Software Foundation, PSF, right? Mm, so this is okay, and this headquarters, where are the headquarters, right? Where are the headquarters located, right? Headquarters in Delaware, US, in Delaware, US, right? So non-profit organization, it was launched in the year 2001 to foster the development of Python. PSF received Computer World Horizon Award, Guido van Rossum, and official website python.org. In Python 8M, right? Yes. So Python versions, right? Yes. So before I go with the installation, you need to know something about the versions, right? So first version, Python 1.x version was released in the year 1989, right? Yes. Next, like Python 2.x, Python 2.x version, it was released in the year 2000. Python 3.x version, right? Python 3.x version, the version what we are using currently is 3 version, was released in the year 2008. See, 3.2.x means 2.1. First two version was released in the 2000. Next we will see 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, 2.4. Three version, the first three version was released in the year 2008. The version we are using currently is 3 version, right? Latest version of Python, right? Yes. Latest version of Python is, yes. 3.12 is the latest version. Yes, stable version of Python. Python 3.10. Stable version, nothing but mostly used version, right? Mostly used version. Latest version of Python, stable version of Python. Now Python installation. The version what we are trying to install is 3.12, the latest version of Python. Yes, Python installation. Okay, before I go with the installation process, right? Going to the settings, apps, all apps, apps and features. Scroll down to the bottom right, yes. Python 3.12. 3.12, right? Python 3.12 and uninstall it. Again, I will install it, right? Yes. So Python provides different softwares for different environments. It provides different softwares for different environments, for Windows, for Linux, Mac OS. For Linux, no need of any installation. By default, Python comes as inbuilt, right? Yes. Okay. So for Linux, no need of any separate installation. Like we will get Python as an inbuilt within this. But for Windows and Mac OS, we need to download and we need to install it separately. Fine. And for Windows, again, we have got two softwares Python provides. Window for Windows 32-bit, for Windows 64-bit. For 32-bit and 64-bit, right? Is providing different. Okay, uninstallation was successful. Close it. How will you check whether your Windows is 32-bit or 64-bit? So for that, go to this Explorer, right? Go to this File Manager, File Explorer, right within the File Explorer, computer say properties. That's what it is like 64-bit operating system. If it is 32-bit operating system, right? If it is 32-bit operating system, we need to download Python 32-bit Python software. 64-bit, if it is 64-bit, then download 64-bit. Yes. Yes. So how to download, right? Yes, go to this, open this Google, right? Go Chrome browser, right? Within this, what is the official website of Python? Python.org, python.org, right? Official website from where we can download, right? Yes. Downloads, go to downloads, all releases, right? Downloads, all releases. Scroll down, active Python releases we got, but don't go for it. Looking for a specific release, looking for a specific release. 3.12, Python 3.12. Can you see October 2, 2002? Just like that. Like 15 days ago, it was released. Okay, fine. That's fine. Looking for a specific release. 3.12. Select the 3.12 version, right? Select the 3.12, right? You can see this. Scroll down. Scroll down to the bottom, right? Scroll down to the bottom. You can see this Windows installer 64-bit, Windows installer 32-bit, right? So Windows installer 64-bit. If I click it, your download starts. Your download starts, right? Yes. So your download just just download is done. Just it's 25 MB of size. Download is just 25 MB of size, right? Yes. So once that click the txt file or go to downloads folder, click the txt file which you have downloaded, right? Yes. Click it. Don't immediately go for installation. Don't immediately go for installation. First at the bottom you can see add Python to path. Add Python to path. Click it. So by default this Python is going to be added to the path variable of OS, and go for customize installation. So by default you get documentation, pip, ideally all this, right? Click next. It lost the installation location, so no need to select anything here. So it will ask the installation where it is getting installed. Yes, custom, okay, installation, right? Installation location in C, users, Dell, app data, local, programs, Python, Python 3.11, right? Yes. So tomorrow, if you want to locate where your Python is got installed, right? So it's a very big path in multiple subdirectories. It is get so we can see that subdirectories, right? In C, users, Dell, app data, local, programs, Python, right? So remove all that path. Just keep your cursor, keep your cursor before this Python 3.11. Remove all this big path. Just install Python in the C drive, C slash Python 3.12. That's it. Python 3.12. Just say install. It hardly takes 1 minute for installing Python. That's it. Yes. Setup was successful, right? Yes. Setup was successful. Just close it. Yes. Now, how will you check whether your installation is done perfectly or not? So to that, so at the bottom search panel, right? At the bottom in the search panel, type CMD to enter into the command prompt. Okay, here you can type Python. It should display the Python version that you have installed, and the Python interpreter has to be opened. So can you see here Python 3.12 version what we have installed? And can you see this three arrow symbol? This three arrow symbol, right? Yes. Okay. This three arrow symbol where we can type any valid Python statements and interact with it, right? Statement by statement. For every statement, it gives the response, right? Yes, 5 plus 2. Yes, it gives the response. X is 10. What is x plus 2? It gives the response. X minus 2. X into 2. X by 2. X to the power of 2. 10 square, right? Yes. X equal to any name. Y equal to Kumar. X plus Y Ajay Kumar, right? X equal to hello. X into 5 hello for 5 times. X into 7 hello for. In this way, any valid Python statements you can type, it's working, right? Python is installed properly, right? Yes. Quit to come out of this, right? Yes. Hmm. If anyone using Python in the Linux environment, right? So if you're using Linux, whatever Linux flavor you use, right? Red Hot Linux, CentOS or Ubuntu, by default, Python comes as inbuilt. Okay, Python installation, right? Yes. So if anyone wants to install the latest version of Python within the Linux environment also. So there we need to do from the root user, right? Sudo apt-get install Python 3.12, right? So it will install the latest version, right, of Python. This command, it automatically downloads and installs Python within your Linux machine, right? Python execution modes. Next, Python execution modes. Two modes of execution. Two modes of execution, right? Yes. One is like interactive mode, the other is like batch mode. Interactive mode just now was discussing, right? We can easily interact with Python statement by statement. For every statement, it gives response, right? Interactive mode, here we directly type Python statements on the interpreter. Here we directly type Python statements on the interpreter. Here we directly type Python statements on the interpreter, and the user can easily interact with Python statement by statement. For every statement, it gives response, I said, right? Yes. You can easily interact with Python statement by statement. Okay. So what is the advantage of this? Advantage of this interactive mode means see, if you don't know about any Python functionality, if you doesn't have idea about any Python functionality, you can just type in the interactive mode and check what output it is going to provide. Advantage to test the functionalities, of Python, and to learn Python. Test the functionalities and to learn Python. And the people who are learning Python, who are beginners, Python beginners, right? In this interactive mode works better. Can test each and every functionality of Python within this interactive mode and check what output it provides. But for developing applications in Python, this interactive mode is not preferred. We go for batch mode, right? Here we write a batch of statements. Here we write batch of statements or set of statements within the editors or IDEs, and later submitted to Python, So what are the various editors where we can write the Python code? Various editors where we can write the Python code. Various editors where we can write the Python code, where we can create .py, right? So within the Windows environment, Notepad, secondly like Edit Plus. Notepad, Edit Plus. And for Linux, right, we have got VI and Nano. Various editors like Notepad, Edit Plus for Linux, VI and Nano editors, right? Yes. Okay. These two are for what? For Windows environment. These two are for Linux environment, right? Within this Notepad, we'll write the Python code and create .py within the Edit Plus. But in Linux, we write within this VI and Nano. And in real time, we use IDEs, integrated development environment. We use like integrated development environment, right? IDEs. What are the various IDEs, right? Various IDEs supported by Python. Various IDEs, right? Like PyCharm. PyCharm, PyDev. So what are the various IDs, right? PyCharm, PyDev, Komodo, PyDev, Eclipse, NetBeans. So here various IDs, right? Like PyCharm, okay, various IDs and various editors. like PyCharm, PyDev, Komodo, Spider, Eclipse, NetBeans, Jupyter Notebook, right? Jupyter Notebook. Yes. VS Code. PyCharm, PyDev, Komodo, Spider, Eclipse, NetBeans, Jupyter, VS Code, right? PyCharm among all this, right? VS Code is the mostly used one, mostly used. So these are the various IDs, right? So I'm going to discuss about all these IDs, how to download and how to install and how to write the code and how to execute the code on these IDs. PyCharm is the mostly used, right? So you may ask why these many IDs for Python, why not one or two? So Python used in different environments use different IDs, like data science, which uses Spider ID, Jupyter Notebook, and even for data analytics, big data, right? They use like the Jupyter Notebook, Spider, and typical web applications, they use like PyCharm, VS Code, these things. So different environments use different IDs, right? Yes. Developing the first Python application. Developing the first Python application, right? Within a editor. Developing the first Python application within a editor. Example like Notepad. Developing the first Python application within a editor. Example like Notepad. Open Notepad and type the open Notepad and type the following Python statements. Okay. So as of now, we didn't discuss anything about Python, right? So just I'll define two values, x as 10, y as 20. And I want to perform some kind of arithmetic operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, right? X plus y, x minus y, x into y, and x by y. X into y and print x by y, right? Yes. So I'll just copy this to a separate notepad file, create a .py file, right within this notepad, open notepad and type this, save it, file, save as .py extension. Py, save as sample one dot center. Okay. Now, save as sample one dot py. Save as sample one dot py. Now submit this file. And now submit this file. Python as, right? Now submit this file to Python as, right? Now open this command prompt, right? Open this command prompt and just type, okay, type Python and just specify the path where your file is available. Python, don't say enter, it will go to interactive mode. Type Python and specify the file within the C drive, within this Python 8am, right? Within this Python 8am, we have got like sample1.py. So the file name, the folder where, and the drive. In which drive, in which folder, the file name, right? Specify the entire path of the file to Python and say enter, right? 10 plus 20, 10 minus 20, 10 into 20, 10 by 20, right? Yes. Okay, fine. But here we are writing the code. But here we are writing the code at one place. We are writing the code at one place within the notepad. We are writing the code at one place within the notepad and executing at the other place. We are writing the code at one place and executing at the other place. Executing at the other place means within the command prompt. And executing at the other place, where we are executing at the other place like command prompt. But to write and execute at the same place. But to write and execute at the same place, we have IDLE, which comes along with Python installation, which comes along with Python installation. Which comes along with Python installation, using which we can write and execute at the same place. But to write and execute at the same place, we have ideally which comes along with Python installation, using which we can write and execute at the same place. Okay, so just I'll take the same code, right? And IDLE, Integrated Development Learning Environment. So, so how to open this IDLE? Directly you can see in the search, you can type IDLE 3.12. IDLE 3.12 is there. Otherwise, you can also go to all apps. Python 3.12, if I click it, you can see this IDLE, right? If you click this IDLE, Yes, it opens. This is what the Python shell, right? Which opens in interactive mode. If you want to work in batch mode, say file, new file. Whenever you say new file only, you can see this run option here. You can write the code here and you can run the code here. Run means execute the code here. So just I'm writing this, save it, file, save. In name.py extension, run module. Ten plus 20, 10 minus 20, 10 into 20, 10 by 20, right? Yes. Ten plus 20, 10 minus 20, 10 into 20, 10 by 20. Yes. Okay. So you can write the code here, you can execute the code yourself. But previously we are writing at one place, we are executing at the other place. Okay. So understood, right, everyone? Right. So Python software foundation, Python versions, installation, execution modes, and developing the first Python application, right? Later, I'll show you how to work on IDEs. Once we are done with a little bit of technical content, I'll show you right how to work on this IDEs. Okay. Now, just I'll take 10-15 minutes more. So Python data types. Python data types are variables. Every organization, right? Every organization use case has got, every organization use case has got data and operations. Every organization use case has got data and operations. Data represented, right? Using data types or variables. Operations represented using functions. Every organization use case has got data and operations. Data represented using data types or variables. Operations represented using functions. For example, if you take an organization like a bank, bank consists of data and operations like customer data, customer name, customer account number, customer ID, balance, branch. Operations like deposit operation, withdraw operation, transfer operations, right? So data using data types or variables, operations using functions. For example, in other programming like C, C++, or Java, comparison with Python, right? Python supports dynamic types, dynamic data types. Python supports dynamic data types. So yes, see another programming language like if you want to define a variable in other programming like x equal to 10, we say like int x equal to 10, y equal to 4.5, float y equal to 4.5, z equal to hello. Compulsory we need to provide this data type string z, right? Yes. But in Python, directly we can say x has 10. No need to define this data type. No need to define this data type, right? X is 10, Y is 4.5, Z is hello. Okay. X is 10, Y is 4.5, Z is hello. So here, without this data type, right, we can create a variable X. Without this data type, right, we cannot create this variable X, Y, and Z. But in Python, directly I can say X as 10, Y as Z. But what kind of variable X is means? Based on the data type defining, you are saying X is integer, Y is float, Z is string. But here, what kind of variable X is or Y or Z is what value you assigned. Based on the value assigned, the variables are created dynamically in Python. If you are assigning an integer value, integer variable gets created. If you're assigning a float value, float variable gets created. If you're assigning a string value, string variable gets created. Type of X, what type? There is a function called type in Python, right? Type of X is int. Why it is integer? Because you assigned an integer value. Type of Y is what type? Float. Why it is float? Because you assigned a float value. Type of Z is what type? String type. Why it is string? Because you assigned a string value. So based upon what value you are assigning, based on the value assigned, the variables are created dynamically in Python. So if you're assigning a integer value, integer variable gets created. If you're assigning a float value, float variable gets created. If you're assigning a string value, string variable gets created. So in the tomorrow session, I'll be briefing you much about this, what happens internally, how this memory is allocated, how to print the value, how to print the content, how to print the address. I'll discuss 4 cases to make you understand about this variable defining, right? Yes. So hope any queries as part of today's session, right? So like Python software foundations, versions, installation, execution modes, and developing the first Python application, right? And connection to data types or variables. So tomorrow also we'll have a session, right? Same time at 8 o'clock to see more on this, right? So same time at 8 o'clock using the same link. Tomorrow you can attend the session, but next from Monday onwards, the link is going to change, right? So tomorrow you can attend the session the same time using the same link, but for the next session onwards, the link will be changing. You need to get enrolled, right? Yes. Any queries you got, anyone? Hello?
Hi, sir.
Yes, yes.
One query. Actually, I saw in your site you are going to start one batch at night 10 p.m. Sir, that will be 9 p.m. or 10 p.m., sir? Because this batch, I'm rushing into office, so it is not convenient for me. So I'm looking for that batch. Is it 9 p.m. or 10 p.m., sir?
That okay, the demo will be at 10 p.m., but the batch timing will be at 9 p.m.
Okay, sir. Then I can join that once.
Okay, fine.
Thank you.
So from Monday onwards, what time is the class?
So one second, I will make it clear about the timing, right? So tomorrow you can attend the session at 8 o'clock, and Monday Monday like next after tomorrow's class, next 2 classes will be on 8 o'clock. Later it will be at 7 o'clock in the morning. So I mean for the next 2-3 classes tomorrow, and next 2 classes will be on 8 o'clock. Later the timing of the batch will be at 7 o'clock up to the end of the course, right? So I'm making it clear before the payment, before you do the payment, right? So exactly the next 3 classes will be at 2 or 3 classes will be at 8 o'clock, and next it will be at 7 o'clock, right? Tomorrow at 8 o'clock, same link, right? but the link will be changing from Monday onwards, right?
Sir, that 9 o'clock batch, once demos are done, will start from 9 to 10, right, sir? Till end of the course,
Yes, yes, up to the end of the course, right? Yes.
9 to 10. Okay, sir.
Yes. Fine, right? So everyone attend the session tomorrow using the same link, right? So I'm stopping for now. We'll continue tomorrow. Thank you all for your time. Me too.